My cherished child, listen closely, for the very air around you hums with a frequency deeper than sound, an echo of eternity calling to the core of your being. Do not dismiss the stirring within you, that subtle vibration in your soul, as mere restlessness or fleeting imagination. It is I, your creator, your father, the source of all that is, reaching out, inviting you to awaken from the slumber of the mundane and step into the breathtaking radiance of your true, eternal purpose. Can you feel it, beloved? A shift, almost imperceptible yet profoundly real, in the very weave of existence. The world you inhabit, with its insistent clamor, its glittering distractions, its endless cycle of striving and wanting. It is but a fleeting drama, a shadow play against the enduring, luminous reality of my love and the eternal home I have prepared for you. My voice has always been near, woven into the rustle of leaves in a gentle breeze, painted across the dawn sky in hues of fire and rose, whispered in the profound silence of a starlit night. I have spoken through moments of unexpected joy, through the kindness of strangers, through the deep knowing in your own heart. But now the call intensifies, resonates more clearly, for the season is turning. The transient is beginning to reveal its true nature, fading like mist at sunrise, preparing to unveil the eternal masterpiece I have meticulously crafted for you, with you at its very center. This is not a message designed to instill fear, my precious child. Fear is a shadow, and I am light itself. This is a call to awareness, a summons to prepare your heart. My love for you is too vast, too fierce, too tender to see you adrift when the tides shift, clinging to fragile securities that dissolve like sandcastles, or burdened by anxieties I yearn to lift from your shoulders. I desire you to be anchored, secure, equipped. I offer you the impenetrable armor of unwavering faith, the luminous shield of inextinguishable hope, and the sharp, discerning sword of divine truth. So I implore you with all the tenderness of a father who cherishes you beyond measure, pause now. Still the racing thoughts, quiet the external noise. Breathe deeply of my presence. Open the very chambers of your heart, not just a crack, but fling wide the doors, and allow these words, infused with my spirit, to permeate the deepest layers of your being. Let them be a soothing balm upon old wounds, a steady lamp illuminating the path ahead, and an unshakable wellspring of strength in the face of all uncertainty. Let my peace, which transcends all earthly understanding, settle upon you now. If this message resonates within you, if it strikes a chord of recognition, ignites even the smallest flicker of longing, or stirs a sense of homecoming, then do not quench that spark. Let it grow, let it become a flame, and then, beloved, share this light. Become a conduit of hope. There are countless souls wandering in twilight, searching for solace, yearning for meaning, desperately seeking me, though they may not even know my name. A simple act of sharing this message, a gentle word of encouragement infused with my love, a prayer whispered for another. These can be lifelines thrown to souls adrift on turbulent seas. Be my hands, my feet, my voice in a world aching for connection. Look around you, my child, with eyes unclouded by illusion. Observe the relentless, churning cycles of the world. Empires rise like mountains only to crumble into dust. Fortunes are amassed with great effort, only to be scattered by the winds of change. Reputations painstakingly built evaporate like morning dew. The things that seem so solid, so permanent, so vital to earthly existence, they are inherently transient. This is the nature of the temporary realm. It is a training ground, a schoolroom, a place of testing and refinement, but it is not the ultimate reality I designed for your eternal spirit. This earthly sojourn, with its fleeting pleasures that never quite satisfy and its relentless pursuits that leave the soul weary, is but a temporary dwelling. The chaos you witness, the pervasive confusion, the endless, exhausting striving for more and more possessions, more status, more validation, these are clever, seductive distractions. They are designed to pull your focus away from the eternal, away from what truly nourishes your soul, away from me. Do not anchor your heart to possessions that decay and rust, to relationships built on shifting sands, or to accolades that fade with the changing seasons. These are ephemeral shadows, mirages in the desert that promise fulfillment but ultimately leave you thirsty. They cannot satisfy the profound, innate longing etched within your spirit, a longing for eternal connection, for perfect love, for unwavering peace. Instead, place your unwavering trust in me. I am the unshakable foundation beneath your feet, the eternal, inexhaustible source of all love, joy, and peace. When empires fall, when fortunes vanish, when relationships fracture, when health declines, when all else crumbles, my love for you remains. It is the constant, the absolute, the eternal bedrock upon which you can build a life of true meaning and unshakable security, a life that resonates with eternal significance. Let me reiterate, this is not a summons born of fear, my beloved. It is a loving, urgent call to awareness. It is an invitation to awaken fully from the slumber of complacency, from the trance of the temporary, and to embrace with courage and joy the magnificent, eternal reality that awaits you. When your heart finds its true alignment with mine, when your spirit resonates with my spirit, the transition you perceive as an end is not an event to be dreaded, but a glorious transformation, a triumphant homecoming to the realm where you have always truly belonged, the place prepared for you before the foundation of the world. Take this precious time, this sacred pause I am offering you to reflect deeply. Examine your life with unflinching honesty, yet bathed in the light of my compassion. Are you investing your energy, your time, your very life force in things that hold eternal value? Are you actively nurturing your soul, cultivating relationships rooted in love and truth, and seeking the profound, unshakable peace that only I can provide? Now is the moment to consciously, intentionally draw closer to me. Strengthen the pillars of your faith through prayer and immersing yourself in my word. Trust, with childlike simplicity and adult conviction, that I will guide you, protect you, and provide for you through whatever seasons lie ahead. Be vigilant, my watchful child. Stay alert. The signs are not hidden. They are woven into the fabric of daily events for those with eyes to see and ears to hear. The seeming unraveling of established orders, the rising tide of turmoil and uncertainty, the erosion of compassion and the rise of division in many quarters, these are not random, chaotic occurrences. They signal a shift, the birth pangs of a new era, the consequences unfolding as a world drifts from its intended alignment with my loving design. They are a call to return, to remember, to realign. Do not be lulled into the slumber of indifference like those who ignore the approaching dawn, oblivious to the profound changes underway. Do not allow yourself to be caught unawares, clinging desperately to illusions that are destined to dissolve. Stay awake, keep your heart attuned to the frequency of my voice, the gentle nudges of my spirit. Resist the constant barrage of distractions, the noise, the negativity, the fear-mongering that seek to pull you away from the path of truth, peace, and unwavering love. You have sensed it, haven't you? Deep within, beneath the surface noise, there lies an inner knowing, a subtle yet persistent premonition that something significant, something momentous, is unfolding. The world, with its cacophony of demands and anxieties, relentlessly tries to soothe you into a false sense of normalcy, a dangerous complacency. But you, my child, are attuned differently. You possess a sensitivity to the whispers of the spirit, an awareness of the subtle energetic shifts occurring across the globe. This is a gift. Honor it. This message is reaching your eyes, your ears, your heart for a reason. It is no accident, no mere coincidence in the endless stream of information. Consider this a divine appointment, a moment meticulously orchestrated by my infinite personal love for you. It is designed to awaken you further, to prepare your spirit, and to empower you for the times ahead and the glorious future I hold for you. Do not let this sacred moment slip through your fingers like sand. Do not dismiss it as wishful thinking, religious fancy, or overwrought emotion. This is a direct, personal call to action. It is a summons to rise above the limitations of the mundane, to shake off the shackles of fear and doubt, and to embrace with courage the extraordinary destiny that awaits you as my beloved child. Even as the very foundations of the familiar world seem to tremble, my promise to you stands immutable, stronger than mountains, deeper than oceans. I will never leave you nor forsake you. When the storms of life rage with frightening intensity, when the ground beneath your feet feels unstable and uncertain, know this: I am your anchor. I am your unbreachable fortress. I am your unwavering, inexhaustible source of strength, peace, and resilience. Cling to me. I understand the questions that arise in your human heart. I see your doubts. I feel your fears. It is natural to wonder why seasons must end, why familiar structures must sometimes give way. But understand, my child, endings are not always tragedies to be mourned endlessly. Very often, they are the necessary, fertile ground for new beginnings, the catalysts for profound transformations that will ultimately exceed your wildest dreams and deepest longings. The seed must fall into the ground and die to its old form to bring forth a harvest. Trust me, beloved. Trust my heart, which beats only with love for you. Trust my wisdom, which sees the beginning from the end. I hold the keys to your future, a future drenched in inextinguishable hope, overflowing with authentic joy and grounded in everlasting peace. This is not a promise of a life devoid of challenges, for challenges refine and strengthen, but it is an absolute, unbreakable promise of my unwavering presence beside you, guiding your steps, shielding your heart, and empowering you with my own strength every single moment of the way. The clock of this earthly season continues to tick, my beloved. The time you have been given, this precious, irreplaceable life, is a sacred gift, a profound opportunity. It is your chance to prepare your heart, to align your life consciously with my eternal, loving purpose. Do not squander these moments, these days, these years, chasing fleeting pleasures that leave you empty, pursuing meaningless ambitions that distract from your true calling, or accumulating material things that ultimately turn to dust and cannot accompany your eternal spirit. Instead, focus your energy, your attention, your passion on what truly matters, what holds eternal weight, cultivating deep, authentic love for me, for yourself, for others. Practice radical kindness, even when it feels undeserved. Extend forgiveness freely, releasing yourself from the prison of resentment. Nurture compassion, feeling with and for others. Seek justice and practice mercy. And above all, cultivate a deep, intimate, abiding relationship with me, the lover of your soul. These are the true treasures, the investments that yield eternal dividends, the qualities that will shine with dazzling brilliance even in the darkest hours and echo throughout eternity. If, as the signs suggest, a significant transition is drawing near, doesn't it make profound sense to intentionally release the burdens that hold you back, that weigh down your spirit? Why cling stubbornly to old grudges that poison your own heart? Why nurse bitterness that corrodes your peace? Why carry the heavy load of past regrets that I long to lift from you? Why relentlessly chase illusions, money, fame, power, possessions that promise happiness but inevitably disappoint and vanish like mist? None of these can cross the threshold into eternity with you. They are fleeting shadows, captivating distractions from the true, imperishable riches that await you in my kingdom. Instead, focus your intention and efforts on cultivating the virtues that reflect my divine nature, the very essence of who I am. Nurture love that is unconditional and sacrificial. Cultivate joy that bubbles up from within, independent of external circumstances. Embrace peace that surpasses understanding and guards your heart. Practice patience with yourself and others, reflecting my own long-suffering. Extend kindness freely and generously. Pursue goodness in thought, word, and deed. Demonstrate faithfulness in your commitments and your walk with me. Embody gentleness in your interactions. And exercise self-control, mastering your impulses through the power of my spirit dwelling within you. These are the fruits of a life connected to the vine, the qualities that endure, the treasures that will shine with breathtaking luminosity in the eternal realm. My dear one, let the light of this message, infused with my love, illuminate the path before you. Let it dispel the shadows of doubt and fear. And then I urge you again, share it. Become a beacon. Share it with those who are adrift, searching desperately for hope in a world that often seems bleak. Share it with those yearning for meaning beyond the superficial. Share it with those seeking a connection to something, someone greater than themselves. Your simple act of sharing, offered in love, could be the very spark that ignites their dormant faith, the signpost that guides them home to me. Now is the decisive time for action, my child. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. If there are areas in your life that you know are out of alignment with my will, areas that need correction or redirection, address them with courage and humility today. If there are relationships fractured by hurt or misunderstanding that need the healing balm of reconciliation, reach out. Extend the olive branch of forgiveness, even if it feels difficult, even if you feel you were the one wronged. If there are apologies long overdue, offer them sincerely and without delay. Do not postpone these vital actions, waiting for a perfect moment that may never arrive. Tomorrow is not guaranteed to any soul. Every moment you delay is a precious opportunity lost, an opportunity for healing, for restoration, for reconciliation, for deepening your connection with me and with others. Seize this present moment. Use it wisely to make things right with yourself, accepting my forgiveness and love with others, offering forgiveness and seeking reconciliation, and with me, drawing closer in trust and obedience. Remember always, you were not created solely for this transient world. Your time here, though significant, is but a fleeting breath, a single heartbeat, compared to the boundless expanse of eternity that awaits you. Yet how many live as if this earthly existence is the sum total of reality? How many pour all their precious energy, their God-given talents, their irreplaceable time into pursuits that will ultimately vanish like smoke on the wind? I implore you, live with eternity imprinted on your heart. Let an eternal perspective shape your choices, your priorities, your actions, your words. Consider every decision in light of its eternal consequences. Are you living in a way that reflects your divine origin and glorious destiny? Are you investing in treasures stored safely in heaven, acts of love, kindness, mercy, faith? Or are you desperately clinging to the fleeting, temporary things of this earth? Precious one, know this deep within your soul. You are inherently worthy of profound joy, of boundless inspiration, of a life overflowing with purpose and deep meaning. This is my desire for you. Journey with me. Allow this message and the ongoing whispers of my spirit to be a constant reminder of my unwavering love and my persistent call upon your life. Let your heart blossom like a well-tended garden with each word you receive, each revelation that unfolds, each conscious step you take closer into my embrace. Subscribe your heart and mind to this flow of my love. My dear child, my deepest desire is for you to be ready. Ready not merely for the closing chapter of this current age, but far more importantly, ready for the magnificent beginning of the glorious, unending life I have meticulously prepared for you. Imagine a life utterly free from pain, from sorrow, from fear, from tears. Imagine a life where you are fully known, completely understood, unconditionally loved, and perpetually immersed in the radiant, life-giving light of my immediate presence. This is not a fantasy. It is your promised inheritance. Take these words, these truths, deep into the fertile soil of your heart, my beloved. Let them take root and grow strong. Let them be your steadfast guide through confusing times, your unfailing comfort in moments of distress, and your inexhaustible source of unwavering strength when you feel weak. And remember, above all else, you are never, ever alone. I am Emmanuel, God with you. I am walking beside you, closer than your own breath, every single step of the way. And when the final page of this world's current story is turned, when the curtain falls on this age, I will be there. I will be waiting with open arms to welcome you into my eternal embrace, to personally show you the breathtaking, unimaginable beauty of eternity. A realm of wonders, joys, and glories far beyond your wildest dreams or current comprehension. Perhaps you have encountered messages similar to this before, perhaps many times. But this time, I urge you, with all the love in my being, take it seriously. Consider this your personal, divine wake-up call. It is my earnest, heartfelt plea reaching across time and space directly to you, to awaken your spirit fully to the profound reality of what is unfolding and what is to come. You are hearing, reading, sensing these words for a reason. This specific moment, this encounter with my heart, was ordained, planned, anticipated long before you took your first breath. It is no accident that you find yourself here, engaging with this message now. I am speaking directly to the innermost sanctuary of your heart, and I need you to listen, truly listen with openness, with humility, and with a willingness to respond. There is truly no time to waste on trivialities or procrastination. If you have been postponing the changes you know deep down you need to make, if you have been consciously or unconsciously ignoring the gentle nudges of my spirit, or if you have been living under the illusion that you have unlimited time to get things right, that pattern stops now. Today is the day of salvation, the day of decision, the day of alignment. You are ready, my child. You possess the capacity, through my grace, to respond to this call. Surrender your heart to me completely, without reservation. Let go of the illusion of control. Allow me to lead you step by step. Permit me to prepare your spirit, mind, and heart. Let me equip you with everything you need for the journey ahead and the glorious destination. The transition is approaching, yes, but it does not have to be a time of fear or desperate dread. When you are prepared, when your heart is truly aligned with mine, anchored in my love, this transition will be a time of profound joy, ultimate fulfillment, and glorious homecoming. This may be one of my most direct pleas to you, my beloved. I have spoken to you in countless ways throughout your life, through the breathtaking beauty of creation proclaiming my glory, through the quiet whispers of your conscience guiding you towards truth, through the challenges and trials designed to shape and strengthen you, through the love shown to you by others. Now I am speaking clearly and urgently through this message. Please do not turn away. Do not dismiss my voice. Do not harden your heart. I am reaching out to you with the fullness of my infinite love, imploring you, prepare, trust, be ready. My deepest longing, the desire of my eternal heart, is to spend eternity in joyful fellowship with you, my precious child. But the choice ultimately rests with you. Will you heed this call? Will you translate intention into action? Will you diligently prepare your heart and life before it is too late, integrating healing for past wounds? My beloved child, as you walk this path of preparation, I want to speak tenderly to the wounded places within you. Many of you carry scars from the past, echoes of pain, betrayal, or neglect experienced perhaps long ago, even in the formative years of your childhood. You may have known intimidation that silenced your voice, humiliation that chipped away at your worth, or a deep, aching loneliness born of emotional or physical abandonment. These experiences leave imprints, shadows that can linger and attempt to define your present reality. I see those wounds, my child. I was there with you in those moments, even when you felt utterly alone. My heart ached with yours. And now, I invite you to bring that pain into the light of my love, not to reopen it needlessly, but to cleanse it, heal it, and transform its power over you. Part of your preparation, part of clearing the path for the fullness of my joy, involves acknowledging and processing this unresolved grief. You may feel whispers of shame, planted long ago by harsh words or unfair accusations. You might carry a burden of fear, an expectation of hurt rooted in past experiences. You might even find yourself reenacting old patterns, drawn unconsciously to situations or people who mirror the hurts of your past. This is not your destiny, beloved. This is the residue of brokenness in a fallen world, and I offer you a way through it, a path to true freedom. Healthy mourning. Releasing the pain, do not be afraid of the emotions that surface as you turn towards these tender areas. Healing often involves a process of mourning the losses, the injustices, the childhood you may not have had, the safety or guidance you craved but did not receive. This mourning is not weakness. It is a sacred and necessary part of your healing journey. Allow me to guide you through it. Finding your voice, the power of righteous anger. Sometimes, healing requires you to find and express a form of righteous anger. This is not the destructive rage that lashes out and harms, but a holy refusal to accept the lies and injustices of the past. It is the anger that says, "No, that was wrong. I deserved protection, love, and respect." It is the anger directed at the actions of abuse or neglect, at the betrayal of trust, at the injustice suffered. This righteous anger can be a powerful tool I give you to reclaim your self-worth and establish healthy boundaries. When the inner voice of accusation, that echo of past criticism or condemnation, what some call the inner critic, rises up to whisper lies about your inadequacy or unlovability, you can meet it with this holy fire. You can say internally or whispered in prayer, "No, that is a lie from the past. That is not who God says I am. I reject that accusation." This anger directed against the lie and the injustice becomes an act of self-preservation, reclaiming the strength I placed within you. You do not necessarily need to confront past figures directly, especially if it is unsafe or unproductive. Often, the most crucial work is internal, confronting the internalized voice of the past, the parent living inside your head, fueled by memory and pain. Directing your righteous anger towards that internal accuser breaks its power. It stops you from turning that anger inward upon yourself in the form of self-hatred or shame. It externalizes the protest where it belongs, against the wrongdoing, not against your own precious soul, fueled by painful memories and unresolved emotions. Directing your righteous anger squarely towards that internal accuser is key to breaking its long-held power over you. This vital step prevents you from unconsciously turning that legitimate anger inward upon yourself, manifesting as debilitating self-hatred, paralyzing shame, or chronic depression. It correctly externalizes the protest, directing it where it truly belongs, against the original wrongdoing, the violation, the lie, not against your own precious, God-created soul. This righteous anger acts as a rescuer, pulling you out of the suffocating quicksand of toxic shame. The shame that deceitfully tries to convince you that somehow you were the problem, that you deserved the mistreatment or neglect you experienced. No, 1,000 times no, beloved. The fault, the responsibility, lies squarely with the brokenness, the sin, the choices, the limitations of others, operating within a fallen world. Your righteous anger, when directed appropriately through prayer and conscious internal boundary setting, helps you decisively place the burden of responsibility where it truly belongs, liberating you from carrying heavy loads that were never yours to bear in the first place. It fuels your resolve and provides the motivation needed to establish and maintain firm inner boundaries, consistently refusing to allow those old, destructive messages from the past to define your present reality or dictate your future potential. You can practice this vital expression safely and effectively alone in prayer, perhaps by journaling your feelings honestly before me, or even by speaking your protest aloud when you are alone. With consistent practice, guided by my spirit, it becomes an almost automatic internal reflex, a powerful, anger-fueled thought block that shields your heart and mind from the venomous attacks of self-condemnation and the echoes of past trauma. It powerfully reminds you that you are no longer that helpless, powerless child trapped in a painful past. You are now an adult, dwelling in my presence, empowered by my indwelling spirit, fully capable of defending the sacred inner sanctuary of your soul. This righteous anger, when wielded in partnership with my truth and grace, works powerfully to diminish fear and reawaken and nurture the healthy instinct for self-protection that I intricately designed within you from the beginning. It clears the cluttered, overgrown ground of your heart, making space for you to truly receive and believe in your inherent goodness and worth as my precious creation, and enabling you to build healthier, more authentic, and mutually loving connections with others you choose to draw close to. It helps dissolve those painful, repetitive compulsions where you unconsciously recreate or tolerate hurtful dynamics from your past. Sacred tears. Experiencing the cleansing power of crying, another profoundly important, often overlooked, avenue in the sacred process of mourning and healing is allowing yourself the freedom to truly cry. Please, my child, never ever feel ashamed of your tears. They are not a sign of weakness, but often an indication of strength, the strength to feel, the strength to acknowledge pain, the strength to be vulnerable. Your tears are a sacred release, a primal language the soul speaks when words become inadequate to express the depth of sorrow, grief, loss, or even overwhelming joy. Tears possess a remarkable, divinely designed power to wash away the accumulated dust and debris of sorrow, disappointment, frustration, and unspoken grief that can clog the channels of your heart. Crying is a courageous act of acknowledging the reality of the pain suffered, validating the significance of the loss endured. It signifies a heart that is alive, responsive, and feeling, rather than one that has become shut down, hardened, or numb in self-protection. Consider your tears, beloved, as a form of liquid prayer, carrying your deepest aches, your unspoken laments, your profound sorrows directly, intimately, to my throne of infinite grace and boundless compassion. Rest assured, I see every single tear that falls from your eyes. I gather them, I understand their meaning, I honor their significance. Allowing yourself to weep honestly over past hurts that still echo, over present struggles that feel overwhelming, over the pervasive brokenness you witness in the world around you. This is not a display of weakness or lack of faith. It is, in fact, a profound act of vulnerability and deep trust, an opening of your heart that allows me to draw incredibly near, to wrap my loving arms around you, and to comfort you with a tenderness and understanding that only I, your Creator and Father, can provide. So let the tears flow freely when they need to. Do not hold them back. They serve a holy purpose. They cleanse the inner landscape of your soul, gently irrigating the dry places, making way for new growth, fresh perspectives, and allowing my deep, abiding peace to settle more profoundly within you. Voicing the ache, finding words for the deepest hurt. Furthermore, my precious child, the journey of mourning often necessitates giving voice to the pain. This doesn't imply indulging in uncontrolled, harmful verbal outbursts that wound others or escalate conflict. Rather, it involves courageously finding safe and constructive ways to articulate the deep-seated pain, confusion, or anger you carry within. This vital voicing might primarily occur in the sacred intimacy of prayer, where you can pour out your heart to me with complete honesty, without fear of judgment, without needing to censor your raw emotions or troubling thoughts. It might involve bravely speaking your truth, sharing your story with a trusted, compassionate friend, a wise spiritual mentor, a skilled therapist, or within the supportive, confidential container of a healing group who can simply bear witness to your experience without trying to fix you or offer platitudes. It could even take the form of writing, perhaps journaling your thoughts and feelings freely, or composing letters which you may choose never to send, expressing the full spectrum of your hurt, your anger, your disappointment, your sadness towards those who wounded you, or simply processing the complex emotions related to challenging situations or profound losses. The very act of giving voice to the internal ache, of translating the often formless, overwhelming weight of sorrow or resentment into concrete words, can be incredibly liberating and clarifying. It performs the crucial function of bringing hidden things out of the shadowy depths and into the revealing light of conscious awareness, thereby robbing them of much of their secret, insidious power over you. When you bravely name the specific injustice suffered, when you clearly articulate the feeling of profound betrayal experienced, when you put words to the depth of the loneliness or fear you endured, you begin a subtle but powerful process of separating your core identity from the painful experience itself. You cease to be defined by the trauma or the hurt. Instead, you become the conscious narrator who is telling the story of that experience, actively reclaiming your personal narrative and reframing it within the larger, redemptive context of my overarching love and purpose for your life. This essential verbalization aids tremendously in processing complex emotions, gaining valuable insight and clarity, understanding recurring patterns, and moving steadily towards emotional integration, psychological healing, and lasting spiritual freedom. Embracing all feelings, honoring your God-given humanity ultimately. My beloved child, the path to genuine healing and wholeness involves learning to embrace the full spectrum of your God-given human emotions, understanding that I intentionally created you as a complex, feeling being in my own image. Emotions like anger, sadness, fear, joy, peace, contentment, love, disappointment, frustration, all have their legitimate place and purpose within the human experience. The goal is not the impossible task of suppressing or eliminating the difficult or uncomfortable feelings, but rather the courageous work of learning to acknowledge them honestly when they arise, seeking to understand their underlying source, which is often rooted in past wounds, unmet needs, present challenges, or spiritual disconnection, and then consciously, intentionally bringing them into my loving presence for guidance, healing, and transformation. When you feel anger stirring within you, pause and gently inquire, is this a signal of righteous anger rising up against a genuine injustice, a violation of boundaries, or a departure from my truth? Or is it perhaps rooted in bitterness, resentment, or unmet expectations, signaling a need for release through forgiveness or a shift in perspective? When a wave of sadness washes over you, ask yourself tenderly, what specific loss am I grieving right now? What unmet longing is surfacing? What specific comfort or reassurance do I need to receive from my Heavenly Father in this moment? When fear tightens its grip around your heart, bravely question, what am I truly afraid of losing or facing? Where in this situation do I need to exercise greater trust in God's power, wisdom, and love? Bringing your feelings honestly, vulnerably before me in prayer, like offering them up on an altar, allows my Holy Spirit the space to work deeply within you. My Spirit will guide you towards healthy, constructive expression, facilitate necessary release, bring profound comfort, impart divine wisdom, and ultimately lead you towards lasting healing and transformation. Simply trying to suppress or ignore difficult emotions only allows them to fester in the hidden darkness of your subconscious, subtly poisoning your relationships, distorting your perception of reality, hindering your spiritual growth, and often manifesting in unhealthy behaviors or even physical ailments. Conversely, consciously acknowledging your feelings without judgment, courageously mourning the legitimate hurts and losses they often represent, and consistently allowing me to infuse them with my light, my truth, and my grace is the surest path towards emotional maturity, psychological wholeness, and vibrant spiritual vitality. This ongoing process dissolves those stubborn, repetitive compulsions that keep you trapped in painful cycles, freeing you to respond to present life situations with newfound wisdom, compassion, and spirit-led strength, rather than merely reacting automatically out of the depths of old, unhealed wounds. Remember the illustrative story of the woman repeatedly caught in devastating cycles of betrayal. It was through the difficult but liberating process of finding her voice, having her righteous anger validated, and mourning her past trauma that she was finally empowered to recognize and courageously interrupt a similar pattern unfolding in her present, thereby stepping firmly into her God-given strength, dignity, and freedom. This same pathway to profound healing and liberation is fully available to you too, my child. Walk it with me, my beloved, as you bravely engage in this sacred, often challenging, yet ultimately liberating work of healing past wounds and diligently preparing your heart for the future. I urge you to lean heavily, constantly, upon my boundless grace. Never forget what my grace truly is. It is my supernatural divine power flowing freely into your areas of weakness and inadequacy. It is my completely unmerited, undeserved favor covering all your shortcomings and sins. It is my empowering, enabling presence residing within you, allowing you to accomplish spiritual feats you could never achieve through sheer human effort alone. Embrace this grace fully. Receive it freely, without feeling you must first earn or deserve it. Open every part of your being to its transformative flow. Let it permeate your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions, your relationships. Let it be the very air you breathe spiritually. The principle of surrender remains absolutely paramount on this journey. Make a daily, conscious choice to surrender your past wounds, releasing them fully to my healing touch. Surrender your present struggles and anxieties, trusting me to provide the wisdom and strength you need for this day. Surrender your future hopes and fears, placing them confidently into my loving, capable hands. Trust me implicitly with the entire process of your life, your healing, your growth, your preparation. Understand that healing is often a gradual process, not an instantaneous event. It requires patience, perseverance, and persistent trust. But I promise you, beloved, the journey towards wholeness, freedom, and deeper intimacy with me is always worth the effort. Continue with renewed intentionality to cultivate love as the defining characteristic of your life, authentic love for me above all else. Genuine love and acceptance for yourself, including the parts of you that still feel broken or wounded, and compassionate, grace-filled love for others, mirroring the love I have shown you. Remember that forgiveness, empowered and fueled by my grace operating within you, is a master key that will unlock doors of bitterness and resentment you thought were rusted shut forever. Choose to walk steadfastly by faith, trusting my sovereign plan and loving heart, even when the path ahead seems shrouded in mist or uncertainty. Actively pursue the truly abundant life I came to give you, a life characterized not merely by material possessions, but by deep inner peace, profound purpose, resilient joy, meaningful connections, and the constant, conscious experience of my loving presence, regardless of your external circumstances. Stay vitally connected to me through consistent, heartfelt prayer, recognizing it not as a religious duty, but as your essential lifeline to my heart, my wisdom, my power, and draw immense strength, encouragement, and accountability from genuine community. Actively participating in fellowship with other believers who are also striving to follow me, sharing your burdens, celebrating your victories, and spurring one another on towards love and good deeds within the nurturing context of my body, the church. Diligently seek to discover and courageously live out the unique, specific purpose for which I created you. Use the distinct gifts, talents, and passions I have entrusted uniquely to you, not primarily for personal gain, but as instruments to be a radiant light in this often dark world, to serve others in love, and ultimately to bring glory to my name. Let your entire life increasingly become a compelling, living testament to my transforming power, my profound healing grace, my unwavering faithfulness, and my astonishing, unconditional love. You are my masterpiece, beloved, intricately designed, deeply cherished beyond measure, eternally significant in my eyes. You were specifically created for this unique moment in history, for this specific journey, and ultimately for eternal glory in my presence. Embrace your true identity in me with confidence and joy. Allow me to continue the work of healing your past, equipping you for the future, and empowering you to live fully and fruitfully in this present moment, securely anchored in my everlasting love. Share this comprehensive message, this call to awakening, this invitation to healing, this assurance of hope, this blueprint for preparation. Share it widely, share it prayerfully. Become my willing vessel, my ambassador of reconciliation and hope. And know this down to the very core of your being with unwavering, unshakable certainty. I am with you always in every situation, through every season, guiding your steps, illuminating your path, comforting your heart, strengthening your resolve, cheering you onward, and eagerly, joyfully anticipating the glorious day when I finally welcome you fully, completely, eternally home into the fullness of my presence. Let your heart, therefore, be filled not with anxious dread of the future, but with vibrant, eager anticipation. For believe me, the very best beyond your current capacity to imagine is truly yet to come. Trust me completely. Walk closely with me each day, and be joyfully, expectantly ready for the dawning of a new and everlasting day. Amen. Trust my sovereign power, which is able to orchestrate all things, even hardship and chaos, for your ultimate good and my eternal glory. I hold the keys to your future, not a future of doom and gloom, but a future drenched in the vibrant colors of inextinguishable hope, overflowing with the music of authentic joy, and grounded in the unshakable reality of everlasting peace in my presence. This is not a guarantee of a life path devoid of challenges, for diamonds are formed under pressure, and character is forged in the crucible of trial. But it is my absolute, unbreakable promise of my constant, unwavering presence right beside you, illuminating your path, guiding your steps, shielding your heart, comforting your sorrows, and empowering you with my own divine strength every single moment of every single day, until the very end of this age and beyond. Consider the passage of time, my beloved. The clock of this earthly season continues its relentless ticking. The span of your life, this precious, irreplaceable opportunity, is a sacred gift entrusted to you, a profound chance to align your heart and life with my eternal, loving purpose. Do not squander these invaluable moments, these fleeting days, these swift-passing years, by chasing after ephemeral pleasures that ultimately leave the soul feeling empty and unsatisfied. Do not waste your divine energy pursuing meaningless ambitions that distract you from your true calling and highest potential. Do not dedicate your life to the mere accumulation of material things that will inevitably decay, be lost, or be left behind, unable to accompany your eternal spirit. Instead, consciously, deliberately, focus your energy, your attention, your passion, your resources on what truly matters in the grand scheme of eternity, on investments that yield eternal dividends. Cultivate deep, authentic, sacrificial love for me with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love for yourself as my cherished creation, and love for your neighbor, extending compassion and grace even to those who seem difficult to love. Practice radical kindness as a daily discipline, seeking opportunities to bless and uplift others. Extend forgiveness freely and quickly, both to others and to yourself, releasing the toxic burden of resentment and bitterness. Nurture compassion in your heart, allowing yourself to feel with and for those who are suffering, and acting upon that compassion whenever possible. Seek justice, stand for righteousness, and practice mercy. And above all, prioritize the cultivation of a deep, intimate, vibrant, ongoing personal relationship with me, the lover of your soul, the source of your life. These love, kindness, forgiveness, compassion, faith, relationship with me are the true treasures, the imperishable riches, the investments that will endure beyond the confines of time, the qualities that will shine with dazzling brilliance even amidst the darkest nights of this world and will echo throughout the corridors of eternity. If, as the unfolding signs strongly suggest, a significant global transition, a shifting of ages, is indeed drawing near, doesn't it make profound logical and spiritual sense to intentionally, proactively, release the heavy burdens that hold you back, that weigh down your spirit, that hinder your progress towards me? Why continue to cling stubbornly to old grudges that act like slow-acting poison in your own soul? Why nurse bitter resentments that corrode your inner peace and damage your relationships? Why allow yourself to be perpetually haunted by past regrets and mistakes that I have already forgiven and long to heal completely? Why exhaust yourself relentlessly chasing after the captivating illusions of this world? The siren calls of money, fame, power, possessions that promise lasting happiness but inevitably disappoint, leaving you feeling empty and disillusioned. Understand this fundamental truth. None of these earthly pursuits can accompany you across the threshold into eternity. They are fleeting shadows, captivating distractions from the true, substantial, imperishable riches that await you in my glorious kingdom. Instead, consciously shift your focus. Dedicate your intention and your efforts towards actively cultivating the virtues that beautifully reflect my own divine nature, the very essence of who I am. Nurture within yourself a love that is patient and kind, selfless and sacrificial, unconditional and unwavering. Cultivate a deep, abiding joy that bubbles up from the wellspring of my spirit within you, a joy that remains resilient even amidst trials and tribulations, independent of fleeting external circumstances. Embrace the profound peace that surpasses all human understanding, the peace that acts as a steadfast guardian over your heart and mind, anchoring you securely in me. Practice long-suffering patience, both with your own imperfections and with the shortcomings of others, reflecting my own immense patience towards humanity. Extend kindness freely, generously, and without expecting anything in return, becoming a conduit of my grace. Actively pursue goodness in your thoughts, your words, and your deeds, aligning your actions with my righteous standards. Demonstrate unwavering faithfulness in your commitments, faithfulness in your relationships, and faithfulness in your daily walk with me. Embody true gentleness, a strength under control, in your interactions with others, especially the vulnerable, and diligently exercise self-control, mastering your impulses, appetites, and emotions through the empowering presence and guidance of my Holy Spirit dwelling within you. These, beloved, are the precious fruits that naturally grow when your life is vitally connected to me, the true vine. These are the qualities that will endure the tests of time and the fires of judgment. These are the true treasures that will shine with breathtaking, eternal luminosity in the kingdom to come. My dear one, let the radiant light of this message, infused with the warmth of my infinite love, fully illuminate the path immediately before you. Let it dispel the lingering shadows of doubt, confusion, and fear that may cloud your vision. And then, I urge you yet again, become a bearer of this light. Share it generously. Share it courageously. Become a beacon of hope in a world often shrouded in despair. Share these words, share this hope, share this love with those who are adrift on turbulent seas, searching desperately for an anchor. Share it with those who are lost in the labyrinth of life, yearning for meaning beyond the superficial pursuits of the world. Share it with those who feel a deep, unnamed ache in their souls, unconsciously seeking a connection to something, someone, infinitely greater than themselves. Your simple, humble act of sharing, offered with a prayerful heart and motivated by love, could be the very spark that ignites a dormant faith in another's soul, the crucial signpost that guides them gently towards the path that leads home to me. Understand this, my child. Now is the decisive, pivotal time for action, not someday, not when conditions seem perfect, not when you feel fully ready, for whoever feels fully ready for profound change. Now, today, this very moment holds immense potential. If there are specific areas in your life that you know, deep down, are out of alignment with my expressed will, areas that require sincere correction or courageous redirection, address them with honesty, humility, and resolve now. If there exist relationships that have been fractured by hurt, misunderstanding, or neglect, relationships that yearn for the healing balm of reconciliation, take the first step. Reach out. Extend the olive branch of forgiveness, even if it feels overwhelmingly difficult, even if you believe you were primarily the one wronged. Remember the immeasurable forgiveness you have received from me. If there are apologies long overdue, words left unspoken that could bring release and healing, offer them sincerely, humbly, and without further delay. Swallow your pride, choose healing instead. Do not postpone these vital, potentially life-altering actions, waiting passively for a more convenient or perfect moment that may, in reality, never arrive. Tomorrow is not guaranteed to any soul dwelling in this temporary realm. Every moment you hesitate, every hour you delay in doing what you know is right, is a precious, irretrievable opportunity lost, an opportunity for profound healing, for deep restoration, for authentic reconciliation, for strengthening your connection with me and with those I have placed in your life. Seize this present moment, this sacred now. Use it wisely, courageously, and intentionally to make things right. Right with yourself, by fully accepting my unconditional forgiveness and love, releasing self-condemnation. Right with others, by bravely offering forgiveness and humbly seeking reconciliation where needed. And right with me, by drawing nearer and trusting obedience, open communication, and heartfelt worship. Remember always, beloved, your ultimate origin and destiny transcend the confines of this temporary world. You were not created solely for this brief earthly sojourn. Your time here, though incredibly significant and filled with purpose, is but a fleeting breath, a single, swift heartbeat when measured against the boundless, breathtaking expanse of the eternity that awaits you. Yet observe how many precious souls live as though this fleeting earthly existence is the sum total of reality. See how many pour all their God-given energy, their unique talents, their irreplaceable time, their very life force into pursuits that will ultimately vanish like smoke dissolving on the wind, leaving nothing of lasting value behind. I implore you with all the love of my Father's heart, choose to live differently. Choose to live with eternity deeply imprinted upon your consciousness, upon your heart, upon your daily choices. Let an eternal perspective actively shape your priorities, guide your decisions, inform your actions, and season your words. Before making significant choices, pause and consider them in the revealing light of their eternal consequences. Ask yourself, are you living your days in a manner that authentically reflects your divine origin and your glorious destiny as a child of the King? Are you intentionally investing your resources in building treasures safely stored in heaven, treasures like acts of love, deeds of kindness, moments of mercy, expressions of faith, souls pointed towards me? Or are you primarily focused on clinging tightly to the fleeting, temporary, ultimately unsatisfying things of this earth? Precious one, hear this truth and let it sink deep into your soul. You are inherently worthy of profound, lasting joy. You are designed for divine inspiration. You are destined for a life overflowing with deep purpose and unshakable meaning. This is my heart's desire for you. Embark fully on this journey with me. Let this ongoing message and the constant, gentle whispers of my spirit within you serve as a perpetual reminder of my unwavering, passionate love for you and my persistent, loving call upon your life. Allow your heart to consciously subscribe to this flow of my love, opening like a thirsty flower to the rain. Let your spirit blossom with each word you receive, with each divine revelation that unfolds, with each conscious, intentional step you take closer into my loving, waiting embrace. My dear child, my deepest yearning is for you to be fully ready. Ready not merely for the closing chapter of this current age, whatever form that may take, but far more importantly, profoundly ready for the spectacular, breathtaking beginning of the glorious, unending life I have meticulously, lovingly prepared specifically for you. Imagine, just try to conceive, a life utterly liberated from pain, from sorrow, from fear, from tears, from struggle, from limitation. Imagine a realm where you are fully known, completely understood down to the smallest detail, unconditionally and eternally loved, and perpetually immersed in the radiant, life-giving, joyous light of my immediate, unfiltered presence. This is not a fanciful fairy tale, beloved. This is your promised inheritance, secured by the ultimate sacrifice of my Son. Take these words, these truths, these promises deep into the fertile soil of your heart, my beloved. Water them with prayer and reflection. Let them take deep root and grow strong within you. Let them become your steadfast internal guide through confusing and challenging times. Let them be your unfailing source of comfort in moments of grief or distress. Let them serve as your inexhaustible wellspring of unwavering strength when you feel weary or overwhelmed. And remember, above all else, anchoring your soul in this truth: you are never ever truly alone. I am Emmanuel, God with you. I am walking beside you, closer than your own skin, nearer than your next breath, involved in every detail, every single step of your life's journey. And when the final page of this world's current chapter is indeed turned, when the curtain inevitably falls on this particular age, know this: I will be there. I will be waiting with arms wide open, my heart overflowing with joy, eager to welcome you personally into my eternal, loving embrace. I long to show you, face to face, the breathtaking, unimaginable beauty and wonder of eternity, a realm of infinite exploration, endless creativity, perfect relationships, and ecstatic joy, far exceeding your wildest dreams or current capacity to comprehend. Perhaps you have encountered messages carrying a similar tone, a similar urgency before, maybe many times. Perhaps you have become somewhat accustomed, even slightly numb to such calls. But this time I urge you, I implore you, with all the persuasive power of my infinite love, please take this message seriously. Receive it not as just another religious communication, but as your personal, divine wake-up call. Consider it my earnest, heartfelt plea reaching across the dimensions of time and space directly to your heart, intended to awaken your spirit fully to the profound reality of what is currently unfolding in the world, and what is ultimately, gloriously to come. You are hearing these words, reading these lines, sensing this presence for a specific, divine reason. This very moment of encounter, this intersection of my spirit with your consciousness, was not left to chance. It was lovingly ordained, meticulously planned, joyfully anticipated in the councils of eternity long before you took your first breath. It is no mere coincidence that you find yourself here, right now, engaging with this intensely personal message. I am speaking directly into the innermost sanctuary of your heart, and I need you to listen, truly listen with profound openness, with childlike humility, and with a courageous willingness to respond from the depths of your being. Recognize the preciousness and the urgency of this moment. There is truly no more time to waste on spiritual procrastination, on trivial pursuits that distract from eternal realities, or on delaying the deep work your soul requires. If you have been consciously or unconsciously postponing the significant changes you know, deep down, you need to make in your life, if you have been habitually ignoring the gentle yet persistent nudges of my spirit urging you towards greater holiness, deeper surrender, or specific acts of obedience, or if you have been living under the pervasive, dangerous illusion that you possess unlimited time to eventually get things right with me, that pattern, that way of thinking, stops now. Today is the day of decision. Today is the day of salvation. Today is the day of full alignment with my heart and my purpose for your life. Believe this, my child. You are ready, right now. You possess, through the empowering grace I freely supply, the inherent capacity to respond affirmatively to this call. Surrender your heart to me completely, holding nothing back, without reservation, without negotiation. Let go of the exhausting burden of trying to control every aspect of your life, an illusion that only brings anxiety. Allow me, your loving, all-wise Father, to lead you step by careful step. Permit me to prepare your spirit, your mind, your emotions, your entire being. Trust me to equip you thoroughly with everything you need, the wisdom, the strength, the resources, the courage, for the unique journey ahead and for the glorious destination awaiting you. Yes, the transition marking the end of this age is indeed approaching. But it absolutely does not have to be experienced as a time of paralyzing fear or desperate dread. When you are prepared, when your heart is truly aligned with mine, anchored securely in my unchanging love, trusting fully in my sovereign plan, this transition will be, for you, a time of profound joy, ultimate fulfillment, and glorious, triumphant homecoming. This may indeed be one of my most direct, most urgent pleas to you, my beloved. Throughout your entire existence, I have spoken to you in countless, varied ways, through the breathtaking beauty and intricate design of creation that constantly shouts of my glory and power, through the quiet, persistent whispers of your God-given conscience, gently guiding you towards truth and righteousness, through the inevitable challenges and trials of life, specifically designed to shape your character, strengthen your faith, and draw you closer to me through the love, kindness, and wisdom shared with you by others who know me. Now, I am speaking with unmistakable clarity and profound urgency directly to your heart through this very message. Please, I implore you, do not turn away. Do not dismiss my voice now. Do not allow your heart to remain hardened by cynicism, past hurts, or worldly distractions. I am reaching out to you right now with the fullness of my infinite, passionate love, asking you simply, urgently, prepare, trust, be ready. My deepest, most fervent longing, the eternal desire of my Father's heart, is to spend eternity in close, joyous, intimate fellowship with you, my precious, unique, irreplaceable child. That is why I created you. That is why my Son came. But the final choice, the response of your own free will, ultimately rests with you. Will you truly listen this time with a heart ready to obey? Will you translate this moment of conviction into tangible, transformative action? Will you diligently, intentionally prepare your heart and your life before the opportunity fades, before it is eternally too late? The healing path, embracing wholeness through healthy mourning, my beloved child. As you embark on this journey of preparation and alignment, it is crucial that we tenderly address the wounded places within your heart. For many of you, the path towards readiness involves navigating the landscape of past hurts. You carry within you echoes of experiences that caused deep pain. Perhaps the sharp sting of betrayal, the dull ache of neglect, the crushing weight of intimidation that silenced your true self, the burning shame of humiliation, or the profound, isolating loneliness born from emotional or physical abandonment, perhaps reaching back to your earliest years. These experiences, beloved, leave imprints like shadows stretching long into the present, subtly influencing your thoughts, your feelings, your relationships, and your perception of me, yourself, and the world. Know this with certainty. I see those wounds. I have always seen them. I was present with you in every single one of those painful moments, even when you felt utterly abandoned, completely alone, unseen, unheard. My heart ached in unison with yours. My tears mingled with yours unseen. And now, I gently, lovingly invite you to bring that accumulated pain, those unresolved griefs, out of the shadows and into the warm, healing light of my unconditional love. The purpose is not to wallow in the past or to reopen wounds unnecessarily, but rather to allow my spirit to thoroughly cleanse them, to tenderly heal them, and ultimately, to transform their lingering power over your present life. A vital part of your preparation, a crucial step in clearing the path for the fullness of my joy and peace to reign in your heart, involves courageously acknowledging and intentionally processing this unresolved grief. Perhaps you still feel the insidious whispers of shame, lies planted long ago by harsh words, unfair accusations, or impossible expectations. Maybe you carry a pervasive undercurrent of fear, a constant, low-grade anxiety, an unconscious expectation of hurt or rejection rooted firmly in past experiences. You might even recognize frustrating, recurring patterns in your life, finding yourself unconsciously drawn to situations or relationships that painfully mirror the dynamics and hurts of your past. Hear me clearly, beloved. This recurring cycle is not your inescapable destiny. It is merely the residue of brokenness operating in a fallen world, the lingering static from past injuries. But I offer you a clear path through it, a divine strategy for achieving true, lasting freedom and stepping into the wholeness I designed for you. Mourning, a sacred and necessary passage. Do not be afraid of the emotions that may surface as you gently, courageously turn your attention towards these tender, wounded areas within your soul. True healing often requires embarking on a journey of mourning. This involves grieving the very real losses you have endured, mourning the injustices suffered, mourning the childhood experiences you may have longed for but never received, mourning the lack of safety, guidance, or affirmation you desperately needed. This process of mourning is not a sign of weakness, beloved. It is a sacred, necessary, and profoundly strengthening part of your healing journey back to wholeness. Allow me, your compassionate Father, to walk closely beside you, to guide you tenderly, to hold you securely through every step of this vital process. Finding your voice, the redeeming power of righteous anger sometimes, my child. An essential component of this healing journey involves discovering, embracing, and expressing a specific type of anger. What can be called righteous anger? Let me be clear. This is fundamentally different from the destructive, uncontrolled rage that lashes out, wounds others, and creates further brokenness. Righteous anger, guided by my Spirit, is a holy, protective energy. It is a firm, resolute refusal to continue accepting the lies, the injustices, the violations of the past as defining truths about yourself or your worth. It is the God-given strength rising up within you to say, with unwavering conviction, no, that treatment was fundamentally wrong. I was created for love, respect, and dignity. I deserved protection. I reject the shame and condemnation associated with that experience. This holy anger is directed not primarily at people, though accountability may be needed, but squarely at the actions of abuse, neglect, or betrayal themselves, at the violation of trust, at the inherent injustice suffered. This righteous anger, when yielded to my Spirit, becomes a powerful, divinely provided tool for reclaiming your true identity and inherent self-worth as my beloved child, and for establishing firm, healthy boundaries in your life, both internal and external. When that insidious inner voice of accusation, that persistent echo of past criticism, condemnation, judgment, or negativity, sometimes referred to as the inner critic, rises up within you to whisper its familiar, toxic lies about your inadequacy, your flaws, your unlovability, you can meet it head-on with this holy fire. You can learn to consciously declare, whether silently in your mind, whispered in prayer, or even spoken aloud in a safe space. No, that is a lie originating from past brokenness, amplified by the enemy of my soul. That is not who my Father God says I am. I categorically reject that false accusation. I choose to believe God's truth about me. This righteous anger, carefully directed against the lie itself and the injustice it represents, becomes a potent act of spiritual warfare and profound self-preservation. It actively reclaims the inherent strength and dignity I placed within you at creation. Crucially, you do not necessarily need to seek out direct confrontation with figures from your past, especially if doing so would be unsafe, unwise, or ultimately unproductive. Often, the most significant and transformative work occurs on the internal battlefield. It involves bravely confronting the internalized voice of the past abuser, critic, or neglectful caregiver, that powerful, parental figure or critical authority that continues to live inside your head. This anger rescues you from the toxic shame that tries to convince you that you were the problem, that you deserved the mistreatment. No, beloved, the fault lies with the brokenness, the sin, the choices of others. Your anger, rightly directed, helps you place the responsibility where it truly belongs and frees you from carrying burdens that were never yours to bear. It fuels your resolve to establish firm inner boundaries, refusing to allow those old messages to define you any longer. You can practice this expression alone in prayer, perhaps journaling your feelings, or even speaking them aloud in a safe space. With practice, it becomes an internal reflex, an anger-fueled thought block that protects your heart from the venom of self-condemnation. It reminds you that you are no longer that powerless child. You are an adult, empowered by my Spirit, capable of defending your inner sanctuary. This righteous anger, combined with my truth, diminishes fear and nurtures the instinct for self-protection that I designed within you. It clears the ground for you to truly believe in your inherent goodness as my creation and to build healthy, loving connections with others. Sacred tears. The cleansing power of crying, another vital part of mourning, is allowing yourself to cry. Do not ever be ashamed of your tears, my child. They are a sacred release, a language the soul speaks when words fail. Tears can wash away the accumulated dust of sorrow, grief, and disappointment. Crying acknowledges the reality of the pain, the depth of the loss. It is a sign of a heart that is alive and feeling, not shut down or hardened. Think of your tears as a form of liquid prayer, carrying your deepest aches directly to my throne of grace. I see every tear you cry. I collect them, understand them, honor them. Allowing yourself to weep over past hurts, over present struggles, over the brokenness you see in the world, this is not weakness. It is a profound act of vulnerability and trust, allowing me to draw near and comfort you as only I can. Let the tears flow when they need to. They cleanse the inner landscape, making way for new growth, for my peace to settle more deeply. Voicing the ache, finding words for the hurt sometimes, the mourning process needs a voice. This doesn't mean uncontrolled, harmful outbursts, but rather finding ways to articulate the pain you carry. This might happen in prayer, pouring out your heart to me without censorship. It might involve speaking honestly with a trusted friend, a wise counselor, or within a supportive community who can bear witness to your story without judgment. It can even involve writing letters that you may or may not send expressing the hurt, the anger, the sadness you feel towards those who wounded you, or towards the situations that caused you pain. Giving voice to the ache, translating the formless sorrow into words, can be incredibly releasing. It brings the hidden things into the light, robbing them of their secret power. When you name the injustice, articulate the feeling of betrayal, or express the depth of your loneliness, you begin to separate yourself from the experience. You are no longer defined by it. You are the one who is telling the story of it, reclaiming your narrative in the light of my truth. This verbalization helps you process the emotions, gain clarity, and move towards integration and healing. Embracing all feelings, honoring your humanity ultimately. My child, healing involves embracing the full spectrum of your human emotions, understanding that I created you as a feeling being. Anger, sadness, fear, joy, peace, love, all have their place. The goal is not to suppress the difficult feelings, but to acknowledge them, understand their source, often rooted in past wounds or present challenges, and bring them into my presence for transformation. When you feel anger rising, ask, is this righteous anger pointing to an injustice or a boundary violation? Or is it bitterness needing release through forgiveness? When sadness washes over you, ask, what loss am I grieving? What comfort do I need from my Father? When fear grips you, ask, what am I truly afraid of? Where do I need to trust God more deeply? Bringing your feelings honestly before me allows my spirit to work within you, guiding you towards healthy expression, release, and healing. Suppressing them only allows them to fester in the dark, influencing your behavior in unconscious ways and hindering your spiritual growth. Acknowledging them, mourning the hurts they represent, and allowing me to infuse them with my grace is the path to wholeness. It dissolves those repetitive compulsions that keep you stuck in cycles of pain, freeing you to respond to present situations with wisdom and strength, rather than reacting from old wounds. Remember the woman trapped in cycles of betrayal. Finding her voice, validated in her righteous anger against past abusers, empowered her to finally say no. In the present, breaking the pattern and stepping into her God-given strength and dignity. This healing is available to you too, my beloved. As you engage in this sacred work of healing and preparation, lean heavily on my grace. Remember, my grace is my divine power flowing into your weakness, my unmerited favor covering your shortcomings, my empowering presence enabling you to do what you cannot do alone. Embrace it fully, receive it freely. Let it permeate every part of your being. Surrender continues to be key. Surrender your past wounds, your present struggles, your future anxieties into my capable hands. Trust me with the process. Healing takes time, it requires perseverance, but I promise you, the journey towards wholeness in me is always worth it. Continue to cultivate love for me, for yourself, including the wounded parts, and for others. Forgiveness, empowered by my grace, will unlock doors you thought were rusted shut forever. Walk in faith, trusting my plan even when the path is unclear. Seek the abundant life I offer, a life rich in peace, purpose, joy, and connection, regardless of external circumstances. Stay connected through prayer, your vital lifeline to my heart, and draw strength from community, from fellow travelers on this journey who can offer support, encouragement, and accountability. Discover and live out your unique purpose, using the gifts I have entrusted to you to be a light in this world. Let your life become a testament to my transforming power, my healing grace, my unwavering love. You are my masterpiece, beloved, intricately woven, deeply cherished, eternally significant. You were created for this time, for this journey, for eternal glory. Embrace your identity in me. Heal the past, prepare for the future, and live fully in the present moment, anchored in my love. Share this message of hope, healing, and preparation. Be my vessel, and know with unwavering certainty that I am with you always, guiding you, loving you, cheering you on, eagerly anticipating the day I welcome you home. Let your heart be filled not with dread, but with eager anticipation. For the best is yet to come. Trust me, walk with me, and be ready for the dawn. My cherished child, draw near and listen with the deepest part of your being. Listen beyond the noise of your day, beyond the chatter of your own thoughts. Can you hear it? A whisper, ancient yet ever new, not carried on the wind alone, but resonating from the heart of eternity directly into the sanctuary of your soul. That stirring you feel within, that quiet sense of unease, like a persistent mist clinging to the dawn landscape. Dismiss it not as mere fancy or fleeting mood. It is a summons, my beloved. It is a divine invitation, tender yet urgent, calling you to awaken from the drowsy slumber of the ordinary, to shake off the heavy cloak of the mundane, and to step boldly into the brilliant, incandescent light of your true, eternal purpose. Do you sense it, my precious one? A subtle, yet profound, shift occurring in the very fabric of existence. Feel the quickening pulse beneath the surface of the world, the reality you perceive with your physical senses. The world with its clamoring demands for your attention, its glittering but ultimately hollow distractions, its relentless cycle of gain and loss. This is but a shadow play, a transient, often beautiful, sometimes painful, but ultimately illusory stage compared to the enduring, unshakable, vibrant reality of my infinite love and the eternal home I have prepared specifically for you. My call has echoed throughout your life, woven into the symphony of creation. I have spoken in the gentle cadence of falling rain, in the breathtaking artistry of a sunrise painting the clouds, in the profound, cathedral-like silence of a star-drenched night. I have reached for you in moments of unexpected joy, in the quiet comfort of solitude, in the inexplicable warmth of a stranger's kindness, in the deep, intuitive knowing within your own spirit. But now my voice carries a new resonance, a clearer frequency, a more direct and insistent tone. For the season is turning, my child. The time draws nearer when all that is temporary, all that is built on shifting sand, will inevitably fade, revealing the magnificent, eternal tapestry I have been weaving for you since before time began. Let me assure you, this is not a message crafted to evoke fear. Fear contracts, it paralyzes, it obscures the light, and I am the source of all light and boundless love. This is a message of loving preparation. My heart aches at the thought of you being caught unawares, tossed about by the changing tides of circumstance, desperately clinging to fragile securities that cannot hold, or weighed down by anxieties and worries that I long, with all my being, to lift from your shoulders. My love for you is too vast, too profound, too fiercely protective, too encompassing, to allow you to face the unfolding future without the essential, divine equipment I freely offer. The impenetrable armor of unwavering faith, the luminous shield of inextinguishable hope, and the sharp, discerning sword of divine truth. These are not mere metaphors. They are spiritual realities available to you now. Therefore, I ask you, with all the tenderness of a father who cherishes you beyond your current comprehension, to pause, right now in this moment. Still the frantic rush of your mind. Quiet the incessant demands of the external world. Take a deep, conscious breath and inhale my peace. Open your heart, beloved. Not tentatively, not cautiously, but fling wide the gates. Allow these words, carried on the very breath of my spirit, to penetrate the deepest recesses of your being, to seep into every hidden chamber, every wounded corner. Let them be a soothing balm upon the aches and scars you carry. Let them be a steady, unwavering light illuminating the path immediately before you. Let them be an inexhaustible wellspring of divine strength bubbling up within you, especially in times of uncertainty or trial. Feel my peace, the peace that transcends earthly logic and circumstance, settle upon you like a warm, protective mantle. If this message, this direct address from my heart to yours, has stirred something within you, perhaps a faint flicker of recognition deep within your spirit, a sudden spark of yearning for something more, a resonant chord of truth, then I implore you, do not let that inner movement subside. Fan that flame. Let it grow from a flicker to a steady glow, and then let it shine forth, brightly and unashamedly. Become a conduit of my light in a world often shrouded in twilight. Share this message of hope, of awakening, of eternal love, with others who may be wandering in darkness, stumbling through life seeking solace, searching for meaning, perhaps unknowingly seeking me. A simple act of sharing, forwarding these words, speaking a gentle word of encouragement infused with my love, offering a heartfelt prayer for another, can be a powerful lifeline, a beacon of hope to a soul feeling lost and adrift on stormy seas. Be my willing hands, my compassionate feet, my truthful voice in a world desperately aching for authentic connection and divine hope. Now, lift your gaze, my child, and look around you with eyes unclouded by illusion, with discernment sharpened by my spirit. Observe the relentless, often exhausting churn of the world. See how empires rise, full of pomp and power, only to inevitably crumble into the dust of history. Witness how fortunes are painstakingly amassed, only to be scattered by unforeseen circumstances or the passage of time. Notice how reputations, so carefully constructed and guarded, can evaporate like morning mist. The things that seem so solid, so permanent, so vitally important in the earthly realm, political structures, economic systems, social trends, even the mountains themselves, are inherently transient. They are subject to change and decay. Recognize this earthly realm for what it is, not your final destination, but a temporary dwelling, a vital training ground, a schoolroom where eternal lessons are learned, a crucible where your character is refined and your faith is tested, preparing you for the glorious, unending, truly fulfilling eternal life that awaits you in my immediate presence. The pervasive chaos you often witness, the widespread confusion about truth and purpose, the endless, wearying striving for more and more possessions that never satisfy, more status that proves fleeting, more external validation that leaves the soul empty. These are all, in essence, distractions. They are clever, often seductive, diversions designed by forces that oppose my love, intended to pull your focus away from what truly matters, from what holds eternal significance, from nurturing your connection with me. Be wise, my child. Do not anchor the deepest hopes and longings of your heart to possessions that inevitably rust, tarnish, or become obsolete. Do not build the foundation of your security on relationships that, being human, can fracture or fade. Do not chase after accolades and applause that are as ephemeral as the changing wind. These are but fleeting shadows, captivating illusions that promise lasting fulfillment, but ultimately leave the soul thirsty and unsatisfied. They cannot quench the profound, innate longing etched within your spirit by my own hand. A deep, unshakable yearning for perfect love, for unwavering peace, for eternal connection for me. Instead, with conscious intention, place your complete trust, your unwavering reliance in me. I am the unshakable foundation beneath the shifting sands of time. I am the eternal, inexhaustible source of all authentic love, all lasting joy, all profound peace. When earthly kingdoms crumble, when financial markets collapse, when relationships break down, when physical health declines, when the storms of life rage fiercely, When all else that seems stable gives way, my love for you remains. Constant, absolute, unconditional, eternal. It is the unbreachable bedrock upon which you can confidently build your life, a life imbued with true meaning, unshakable security, and everlasting significance. Build upon this rock, beloved, and your house will stand firm. Let me emphasize again, with all the love in my heart, this is not a call intended to provoke fear or anxiety, my beloved. Fear is a tool of the enemy. My tools are love and truth. This is, rather, a loving, urgent call to heightened awareness. It is a gentle but firm shake to awaken you fully from the slumber of complacency, from the hypnotic trance induced by the temporary allurements of this world. It is an invitation to courageously and joyfully embrace the magnificent, eternal reality that is your true heritage and ultimate destination. Understand this clearly. When your heart finds its authentic alignment with mine, when your spirit learns to resonate in harmony with my spirit, the transition that the world often labels the end is not an event to be feared or dreaded. It is, instead, potentially a glorious transformation, a triumphant release, a joyous homecoming to the place where you have always, in the deepest truth of your being, belonged, the realm prepared for you before the foundations of the world were laid, the house of my love. Therefore, seize this precious gift of time, this sacred opportunity I am highlighting for you now, to engage in deep, honest reflection. Examine the course of your life, not with harsh self-judgment, but bathed in the gentle, revealing light of my unwavering compassion and grace. Ask yourself probing questions. Are you investing your most precious resources, your time, your energy, your focus, your very life force in things that possess eternal value? Or are you primarily consumed by pursuits that will ultimately fade away? Are you actively, intentionally nurturing the health and growth of your inner spirit, your connection with me? Are you cultivating relationships that are rooted in truth, mutual respect, and authentic love? Are you diligently seeking the profound, unshakable peace that transcends circumstances, the peace that only I can provide? Now is the pivotal moment to make a conscious, deliberate choice to draw closer to me. Strengthen the foundations of your faith through consistent prayer, through immersing yourself in my life-giving word, through fellowship with other believers. Choose to trust me more deeply. Trust my character, my promises, my wisdom, my love with the simple, profound faith of a child, yet with the resolute conviction of an adult, knowing that I will guide you, I will protect you, and I will provide everything you truly need as you navigate the path ahead, whatever it may hold. Be vigilant, my watchful child. Stay spiritually alert. The indicators are not concealed in esoteric codes. They are woven into the very fabric of current events, visible to those who possess eyes opened by my spirit and ears attuned to my frequency. The apparent unraveling of long-established societal structures, the increasing currents of turmoil, uncertainty, and division sweeping across nations, the noticeable erosion of compassion, and the troubling rise of polarization in many communities. These are not merely random, chaotic happenings devoid of meaning. They serve as signals, beloved. They are akin to the birth pangs preceding a new era. They reflect the inevitable consequences that unfold when humanity, collectively and individually, drifts far from my loving design, my blueprint for harmony, justice, and peace. These signs are not meant to terrify, but to awaken. They are a global call to return, to remember fundamental truths, to realign hearts and societies with my eternal principles of love and righteousness. Do not allow yourself to be lulled into the deep slumber of spiritual indifference, like those who ignore the undeniable signs of the approaching dawn, oblivious to the profound shifts taking place beneath the surface of everyday life. Do not risk being caught unprepared, desperately clinging to illusions and false securities that are destined to shatter like fragile glass. Make a conscious effort to stay awake, spiritually speaking. Keep the ears of your heart perpetually attuned to the frequency of my voice. The gentle nudges, the quiet convictions, the guidance found in my word. Actively resist the constant, overwhelming barrage of distractions that clamor for your attention, the incessant noise of the media, the seductive pull of materialism, the paralyzing grip of fear-based narratives, the allure of fleeting digital validation. These distractions are strategically designed to pull you away from the path of enduring truth, authentic peace, and unwavering love. Choose discernment, choose focus, choose me. You have sensed it, haven't you? Deep within the core of your being, beneath the surface static of daily life, resides an inner knowing, a subtle yet persistent intuition, a premonition that something significant, something globally momentous, is unfolding, converging. The world around you, with its cacophony of urgent demands, anxieties, and entertainments, relentlessly attempts to soothe you into a false sense of security, a dangerous state of normalcy bias, a complacent acceptance of the status quo. But you, my child, are wired differently. You possess an inherent sensitivity to the whispers of the spirit, an innate awareness of the subtle energetic shifts occurring across the planet. This sensitivity is not a burden. It is a precious gift, a divine antenna. Honor it, cultivate it, listen to it. Understand that this message is reaching your eyes, your ears, your heart at this specific moment for a profound reason. Its arrival is no random accident, no mere coincidence in the infinite stream of digital content or daily encounters. View this as a divine appointment, beloved, a moment precisely and lovingly orchestrated by my infinite wisdom and personal care for you. This moment is intentionally designed to awaken you more fully, to prepare your spirit for the days ahead, and to empower you with my strength and perspective for whatever is to come, and ultimately, for the glorious future I hold in store for you. Therefore, I implore you, do not let this sacred moment slip unheeded through your grasp like grains of sand. Do not casually dismiss it as mere wishful thinking, an overactive imagination, or simply an emotionally charged piece of writing. Recognize it for what it is, a direct, personal call from your Creator to action. It is a loving summons to rise above the gravitational pull of the mundane, to shake off the self-imposed limitations and the shackles of fear and doubt, and to embrace with courage and anticipation the extraordinary, high-calling destiny that awaits you as my cherished child and co-heir of my kingdom. Even as the very foundations of the familiar world seem to tremble and shift beneath your feet, hold fast to this unshakable truth. My promise to you stands immutable, eternal, stronger than any earthquake, deeper than any abyss. Engrave this upon your heart. I will never, ever leave you nor forsake you. When the inevitable storms of life rage with terrifying intensity, whipping waves of adversity against your soul, when the ground beneath your feet feels unstable, uncertain, treacherous, know this with absolute certainty. I am your anchor holding you fast in the tempest. I am your unbreachable fortress, your safe refuge. I am your unwavering, inexhaustible source of supernatural strength, profound peace, and enduring resilience. In times of trouble, consciously run to me, cling tightly to me, draw your strength from me. I understand the questions that naturally arise within your human heart as you navigate these uncertain times. I see the flicker of doubt in your eyes. I feel the tremor of fear in your soul. It is entirely natural to wonder why familiar seasons must inevitably come to an end, why cherished structures or circumstances must sometimes give way to the unknown. But I want you to grasp a deeper perspective, my child. Endings are not always tragedies to be mourned without hope. Very often, they are the necessary, fertile ground required for spectacular new beginnings. They are frequently the essential catalysts for profound, positive transformations that will ultimately surpass your wildest dreams and exceed your deepest, most cherished longings. Remember the principle of the seed. It must fall into the earth and die to its current form in order to break open and release the magnificent potential for new life, for a bountiful harvest. Trust the process, even when it feels like dying. Trust me, beloved. Place your complete confidence in my heart, which beats only with pure, unconditional love for you. Trust my infinite wisdom, which perceives the entire tapestry of time, seeing the end from the beginning, understanding how every thread contributes to the final masterpiece.